our country, identifying the drivers of peace in our country as an organization, we know that our community leaders, because the talk of peace is not something that we need to leave for politicians. The politicians don't have what it takes to think about me and you when it comes to peace. The politicians don't have what it takes to talk about peace when it comes to investment. Because even in our country, we all know what is going on in this country. In terms of hospitality, in terms of health, we know what is going on in this country. Recently, we all heard the news, and it is something we know, and I'm not going to talk about it. But when it comes to peace, our politicians are not there truly for peace. And if the politicians are not there for peace, who are the and promoting social cohesion? It will not only emphasize economic and leadership role and contribution, but also recognize the significance of tourism and cultural exchange by promoting the rich cultural heritage of African continent.
In terms of disability in our ambit, the systems and structures that are laid down by the analyst and created the discrimination and stigma around disability is what we are coming to dismantle in this particular scenario. How are we doing that? We are projecting disability positively. You know, last year, our International Disability Day, our theme was United in Action to rescue and achieve the Sustainable Development Goals for, with, and by people with disabilities. That was our theme last year, 2023. And this year, we always celebrate our disability, International Disability Day on 10 December. This year, as we have come together, the theme this year is transformative solutions for inclusive development. The role of innovation in fueling and
assessing of leadership experts in partnership with the John C. Maxwell certified team members, with a focus on training and grooming young people and changing the leadership style in Africa. Over the period, we've been organizing peace expos, investment symposium, tourism events, all of that. But of course, you know that without peace, there cannot be any development, any meaningful development. And like we were saying a few minutes ago, the absence of war is not peace. Peace goes beyond the absence of war. Yes, we may not have war in Ghana, but what is the level of development in the country? So for us to have absolute peace and for us to experience socio-economic development, we need to, it's a work.
To support the continent. And in doing that, how do we do that? We can only do that by setting up a platform, a trusted platform that investors internationally can trust in, and to say we are willing to come on this platform to identify the investment opportunities that are in Africa, that are in Ghana, and for that reason they are ready and willing to do investment in that. And talking about investment, we know peace is the pivot for the drive of investment. You can't talk about investment without talking about peace. There is no investor who is ready to invest in your country without first of all ensuring that the land is peaceful for investment. In our country, identifying the drivers of peace in our country as an organization, we know that our community leaders, because the talk of peace is not something that we need to leave for politicians. The politicians don't have what it takes to think about me and you when it comes to peace. The politicians don't have what it takes to talk about peace when it comes to investment. Because even in our country, we all know what is going on in this country. In terms of hospitality, in terms of health, We know what is going on in this country. Recently, we all heard the news, and it is something we know, and I'm not going to talk about it. But when it comes to peace, our politicians are not there truly for peace. And if the politicians are not there for peace, who are the people who are there for peace? It is me and you. It is about our investment. It is about our business. It is about what you set up over here. If something happened in this country as we speak today, the politicians, they can pack their bag and luggage and travel out of this country. But for me and you, our investment that is in this country is what we are looking at. So if we need people to talk about peace, it is not the politicians who are supposed to talk about peace. It is we, the individuals, who are supposed to talk about peace. It is the CSOs that are supposed to talk about peace. It is the private sector that's supposed to talk about peace. So putting all these components together as an organization and doing what we have been doing for about 3 to 4 years now, one of our partners is John Maxwell, and John Maxwell says something. He said, everything rises and falls on leadership. If you have poor leadership, things will go bad. But if you have good leadership, things will work well with us. So we have put these things together, these components together, to ensure that there is peace. And as long as there is peace, we know that any investor that we speak to and talking about Africa and Ghana, they will be willing and interested in coming to Ghana to do investment in Ghana. Thank you very much.
We're looking to do great business as well as invest and create wealth. We believe in increasing the economy, diplomacy, economic growth in Africa. We understand that what we look for is, first of all, I'm the CEO of LOI Corporation. I work with Sophia Group, an investment company globally. We also do with TKRightGlobal.com. We do high-level events throughout internationally. Our next event is in Dubai. We invite high-level investors, the leaders of their industry, all from all over the world. So we do a lot of B2B, high-level investing, a lot of important work as far as aviation, gold, energy, oil, and that type of investments. What we look for is obviously accessibility for businesses. We look for political stability, which Ghana does have. We also look for, obviously, return upon our investment. We look for, obviously, Ghana is so rich in, again, gold, cocoa, oil, like Ambassador was saying. We also see Ghana as a very promising country. We know that there are very great opportunities there. I love your president, what he was saying, according to the African continent free trade area, Ghana is definitely the gateway in Africa. It is the center of the world. According to your president, we honor him, we honor your ambassadors, we honor the leadership in Ghana, and we're excited to do world transformation business there. Location is everything, and so we're excited to be going into Ghana. And we thank you, Dr. David Douglas, in this royal platform, and all the business that's going to come of it. We believe in developing strategic relationships that are going to last, and we believe in relationships first. And I believe in integrity.
Ghana, imported from the US. My name is Sefakor Komabu, and I am the founder and the executive officer of EEPD Africa, or Enlightening and Empowering People with Disabilities in Africa. So we went across Africa with all the disability organizations working with their home countries. And when we come on board with the Africa Peace Investment and Tourism Summit, it means a lot to us. We are very much intentional this time and very much purposeful to make sure that the work of people with disabilities are heard and see on the ground as we come together to plan. I myself am a person with physical disability. I'm right now talking from a wheelchair. And when we talk about disability, it's not only the visible ones. Here we are, all of us here, I know we carry everything or anything invisible which we are dealing with in terms of disability in our ambit. The systems and structures that are laid down by the ableist and created the discrimination and stigma around disability. So what we are coming to dismantle in this particular ceremony. How are we doing that? We are projecting disability positively. You know, last year, our International Disability Day, our theme was United in Action to rescue and achieve the Sustainable Development Goals for, with, and by people with disabilities. That was our theme last year, 2023. And this year, we always celebrate our disability, International Disability Day on 10 December. This year, as we have come together, the theme this year is transformative solutions for inclusive development. The role of innovation in fueling an accessible and equitable world. Hello, that is what we are bringing on innovation. Personally, I'm coming to this summit with my book, my memoir that I have written about my journeys, being a person with disabilities, up to now as a doctor, a PhD holder, as an activist or international disability rights activist, a policy analyst. Nobody sees anything good in persons with disabilities, wherever we belong to, whether in Africa, whether in Europe, whether in the West, everywhere there is still. And that is what we are dismantling. We are coming to project our work positively. Every issue of disability. So I'm bringing along people with disabilities across Africa, and they are coming to portray their work as I am coming to portray my artistic work, which is my writing as a professor of what I do is teaching in the classroom, and also making sure that people hear our stories and make sure that they are not disconnected, because we don't want to get to that level of having physical disability or something before you think that I'm belonging to this small. This is not a small group, it's a bigger group across nations. So welcome to Ghana with Ghana Africa Summit, and we are so happy to have you in Ghana. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Importance of peace among individuals, groups, communities, and countries cannot be overemphasized. In our quest to achieve the Sustainable Development Goal and enhance the lot of our people, peace, investment, tourism, and development are closely connected because peaceful society provides a healthy socio-economic environment for business and people to flourish, leading to sustainable development according to the United Nations Development Program. It is for this reason that the David Douglas Leadership Forum, in partnership with the Office of the G.M.A Chair, His Royal Majesty King Taki Teku, President of the Traditional Council, is organizing these summits to unite diverse stakeholders with focus on fostering peace, investment, and tourism in Africa. From its inception, a couple of years ago, the primary objective of the summit has been to cultivate a positive and inclusive environment, inspiring and empowering individuals and communities vis-à-vis nations and by extension the entire continent of Africa to contribute to a future marked by peace and security, prosperity, and sustainable development. This year's summit, to be held at the Accra International Conference Center, will serve as a vital platform for stakeholders to foster collaboration and identify investments, opportunities as well as tourism potentials that can drive economic growth, job creation, and overall community development. Community, political, and business leaders will be given the opportunity to showcase their unique potential and engage investors to explore possibilities for industrialization and economic growth, ultimately leading to increased employment and decrease unemployment rates on the continent. This year's event is expected to be the largest ever, with more countries in Africa such as Nigeria, South Africa, Mali, Burkina Faso, Sierra Leone, Liberia, Togo, and the Republic of Benin being represented. Other countries like Cote d'Ivoire, Cameroon, Kenya, Uganda, Namibia, and Niger. Being an African event with a global reach, the United States of America, the United Kingdom, Switzerland, Germany, Netherlands, Trinidad and Tobago will be collaborating to make the summit grand a memorable one. Beyond economic consideration, the summit will underscore the vital impact of leadership in championing peace and community development, with breakout sessions and speeches by seasoned speakers, inspiring participants to become catalysts for positive change in their community and nation.